Will. Throughout the matches that we've seen in the Swiss stage and now into the bracket, defenses have really been a big surprise relative to previous years, right? We've been casting for many years now, and having seen how these hit rates have just kind of plummeted from, I remember hit rates were in the like 70, 80 percentages. They're now down to the like 30s and 40s. And it's rare to actually see a squad that can put up all 5 stars back to back, right? That perfect war remains incredibly elusive, but Inquisition will be the first to strike now. Some might call them the underdog team. They're relatively new. This is a squad that has, I mean, compared to this Empyrean Titans lineup, has not been around for as long, but has really done a great job upsetting the stage, remaining undefeated in this bracket, and performing incredibly well, as we just saw against Clash Champs yesterday, keeping them down to a very low star count at just 10. We'll see if their defenses are going to be enough to keep Empyrean Titans off their back.
Yes, you're stealing the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I wanted to talk about as well, the experience of those two teams. And you said it, you know, it's not a bad thing about Inquisition. It's just they haven't, you know, shown what they got as much as ETX Sports, formerly known as MS Sports, have, especially in the last World Championship season. So we'll have to see if the experience and the routine that ETX Sports bring to the table might make a difference in this war later on. But first of all, let's concentrate on Einstein's Queen charge here. He's charging into the Town Hall, having taken care of that CC nice and early on. Now he needs to freeze the invisibility spell, which he did, so it doesn't make the Town Hall invisible while the Queen is shooting away at it. Now it will use its invisibility's effect. There it goes, and he has to keep the Queen alive through both of these expos. But the King doing a great job funneling on the outside, and Woody, he's already 1 minute and 40 in this attack. He has to start the Lalo at some point.
Sure does. I mean, Lalo can go quickly, but he's only got 1 rage and 1 haste to use with them. And he is going to have a buzzer beater performance here if he wants to get the 3-star down, Maxi.
The wall breakers in the core. He sent 2 wall breakers for the Queen. Both targeted the right wall, but unfortunately they were spun around in the tornado trap, so they didn't open the wall. And now the Queen dies in the ability warden. Woody. No way. Oh, she would have had so much value, and now it's just about percentage. At this point, I don't think he can turn this around to a 3-star anymore.
Bad news on so many accounts for Einstein, and lots of buildings remaining up. This multi-inferno over on the right, another one in the top compartment that should have been targeted by that Queen, but as you mentioned, Maxi, the wall break failed, the Archer Queen taking too much damage, and early popped Eternal Tome. If the setup had been a bit more risky, this could have been a potential 1-star finish for Einstein. Down in the 70s on percentage is awfully low. Fortunately for the Inquisition squad, he attacked directly at the Town Hall, and so that 1-star Heartbreaker is going to be nowhere in sight. He does have a 2-star, but below 80% is one of the weaker attacks, maybe even the weakest attack that we've seen so far today, that is still from a clan that's in contention, fighting for their lives. The only, I guess it's a good thing that I could say about this attack is that, well, they're still in the upper bracket. So if this winds up being the attack that they lose from, they'll still be able to fight from the lower one. But wow, a 2-star 79% is not at all what you'd expect to see from this squad that fought so hard yesterday. They are going to have an uphill battle for the rest of this war now, Maxi.
It is true that you don't want to start off like that, but then again, another good thing for them is we're just 1 attack in, and like what we always said to each other when we're playing wars, when I was still a player in these competitions, is the war is not over until, you know, you cannot get the amount of stars or the star differential with 1 attack anymore. And until then, everything is still open, and we first have to see ETX Sports, you know, getting an advantage out of this by getting a 3-star on their own. And the man for the job they chose is Kingsman here, coming in once again with the Electro Titan Smash. We talked about it yesterday. It's his preferred army composition. He uses it in Legend League as well. and is now on his way to go for the Town Hall with the Flame Flinger. And the nice thing is that Flame Flinger is activating the Town Hall by its splash damage by firing onto this ground targeting Expo, which is at the same time being tanked for by the Warden. So he could use his invisibility spell, his lightning spells with the Earthquake in the core of the base, not caring about activating the Town Hall with the Earthquake. Okay, enough talk, Woody. Now things are getting spicy because he's sending in the Titans and tries to go through the core of the base.
Here they are and ready to rock. We've got those jump spells out and they're going to be hopping over these blocks. We have a Lava Hound as well from the CC. Won't be distracting the Electro Titans at all. Keep them going strong into the core, but man, he did not get an early shot at that Multi-Inferno over on the right side, and it is just going to be burning up those healers. Archer Queen has just wandered out of position and is going to the left side instead, Maxi. He finally gets the Electro Titans to hop over to the walls and get to that Multi-Inferno, but there's another one that's going to start burning them up, and they need to move back into the core and stop messing around on the outer edges. He's got some great cleanup supporting on the outside, though, with this Royal Champion stabbing down, holding on to her shield as long as he possibly can. Kingsman knows that it is best to use that for cleanup if at all possible, but these heroes are still looking very healthy along the outer edge. It's just a factor of time getting over these walls and trying to fire away deep into the inside of this base. I think he might have it, Maxi.
Yes, I think so too. It's looking very good, especially delaying the Warden ability was key here. He delayed it for so long that he made sure the healers actually survived, even though the Electro Titans took a little detour. And I think we will see him. Yes, we can see him looking at the camera, pumping his fist, showing us he has done it. Great job, and he takes advantage of the 2-star that Inquisition got in their first attack, and now ET Sports are in the lead. Beautiful attack, and I want to emphasize on the Flame Flinger. The value it had was incredible, not just taking out the Town Hall, but also with the help of the splash damage afterwards, the ground targeting Expo behind the Town Hall, and that made for the Flame Flinger to survive even after the Town Hall takedown. And otherwise he might have had some issues with time, but just great job there with this Siege Machine. And yeah, roundabout, great attack.
There are so few squads out there that have stuck together through the years. Their Paragon status just making a legacy for themselves. The Empyrean Titans Exports, formerly known as MS Esports, also formerly known as MCES. This is a team that is so thoroughly knit together, so experienced, so on top of the game, and able to stay there. That they have been here for so many years, and that experience will carry on. If you've been doing Lava Loon attacks since Town Hall 10 at that competitive level, you are not going to be as likely to make a slip up here when it matters most. Let's swap back over to Simon now of Inquisition, a very assiduous attacker, careful as always, and scored a 3-star when his team really needed it yesterday. Let's see if he can do the same again right now, popping back in with a Warden walk out the gate, but holding on to 2 healers very carefully. He's going to unfortunately lose that Electro Owl early on here, just hoping that that Flame Flamer can relock onto that air defense, but might have even wanted to just bring Lassie or something if he was going to have to sacrifice that owl so early on.
I was also gonna say a poison lizard maybe would have given him a little more value here maybe, but at this point I think he's doing good. The funnel will be set in just a second here. The Flame Flinger has good value, and he checked with the Barbarian for traps, so it should have some more value throughout this attack. And yeah, Simon, our favorite attacker, Woody, always diving deep into this iPad, and yesterday showing us not only great 3 stars but also great emotions to that really showed us what is on the line for these teams and how much they put into getting this far in a competition like that, and what Clash of Clans Esports actually means to the people competing. But now let's see how he can get into the base with his smash, because this is very important. He's doing something a little different than usual. He is going into the Town Hall with his smash, something we rarely see. Most of the time we see the smash go around the Town Hall and the Flame Flinger being used for the Town Hall, but since these Town Halls are so heavily defended nowadays. We also saw it yesterday, in the Na'Vi match. I think he decided to do it like that. Unfortunately, he had to delay the Warden, and the Warden wasn't following the King, so the King died. And let's just see how many troops will survive the Town Hall takedown. It looks like he's got a couple of Titans left, and the Flameflinger is still going strong on the outside.
Yeah, I can't quite see it. Looks like it will be able to lock onto the Eagle Artillery, but I don't think it's going to have enough shots off to be able to finish it off. Still, it's going to have some troops in there that can start to wander around outside and see if they're able to hop in. No, it's going to be the Royal Champion to follow up and try to get that thing down. Looks like she will be able to be up to the task. Archer Queen ability is popped that takes down the enemy Royal Champion, but a scatter shot is firing away at her, and I don't see any easy way to take it down quickly. The Electro Titans are going to be able to access that compartment, though, and with the Baby Dragon help some cleanup along the topside edge, this last compartment is going to be toasted. Can Simon make it all the way around, though, and finish off? He still has the World Champion shield, tosses it there, and it looks like that's it. Says his prayers, and they are answered. Simon finds a 3-star for Inquisition.
Let's go. What a beautiful attack. They're switching it up with the smash through the Town Hall and the Flameflinger taking out the Eagle Artillery. And what I loved very much, you have to notice the troops he chose for the Flameflinger. He didn't just bring Electro Titan, he also brought a Headhunter with him that he could add with her to take care of the enemy King. So unlike some other attack I talked about yesterday where we would have liked to see the Headhunter to help with going through the King, he had planned that out, and that was a very well executed attack. I also like how he stayed patient with the Warden ability. Even though he didn't catch the King, he knew he would just have enough to finish the space off, and that's what he did. And Woody, I think Inquisition are back in this match, and ET Sports still need to 3-star to keep their lead.
They sure do, but man, a big percentage advantage for them, though. 79% out that first one. I feel like I was a little bit harsh, but still, nonetheless, overcoming that is almost going to certainly require another star on the other side of the map for Inquisition. The Empyrean Titans have just been fighting so consistently, so well, that they, indeed, true to their name, are Titans. They are gigantic in this community. And just knowing that you're going up against such a skilled and well-prepared team has got to be giving Inquisition these like feelings of doubt and confusion. But with that 3-star right there, they have been able to crush one of their biggest foes. That level of competition cannot get higher for these two squads, and you know it's not over yet. Empyrean Titans are not a perfect team. They sometimes have made mistakes, and they have had to fight from the lower bracket as well. We'll see whether it's going to be them doing that or if it's them sending Inquisition down to the lower end. Tryhard is the next attacker, sends the Queen in up top with some healers to support. That's going to be a lot of compartments that he'll have access to. That enemy Royal Champion and that scatter shot should be easy early targets for him to be able to take down. Might even be able to start cracking on into those top compartments because he's brought 3 super wall breakers and a battle blimp that's going to be floating on in now as well. Oh no!
I don't know if he planned for that. I don't think so, because it would have been nearly impossible to see, and also he wall broke near the left side, but the Queen somehow made her way back. But it's actually not that bad for him, if you ask me, because he can make his way into the Town Hall. The biggest problem for him now is to adjust on the fly and keep that Queen alive, and that rage spell, for example, was not the best adjustment because the Queen went out of it so quickly. It's just the healer staying in there for a little bit, but even they are out of there now, so he's going to need to pop another rage spell and another freeze spell on the Town Hall and the Monolith. There it goes. King making sure he funnels on the outside, and this is actually not looking bad. I mean, it looks like it could have been planned for, but since the way he started the attack, we can be pretty sure that it wasn't the way he intended his attack to go. But, I mean, Triad is just such a pro, and he's been around for so long that I think he's able to adapt. And so far, it's not looking bad, as Lalo is starting with.
Here it comes from the bottom side, a beautiful spread of 3 different clumps of balloons that's going to help to mitigate some of the splash damage from that scatter shot, which has really just almost annihilated that top compartment entirely, or that top section of balloons entirely. The Royal Champion's going to be added onto that section of the attack, though, and collapsing alongside with the balloons right into the interior. Through the fire and the flames, they'll carry on in, take down the Eagle Artillery, finish off the first Inferno Tower. The second one is down. A freeze is out for the third. The shield crashes into it. Battle Builders trying furiously to repair. Tryhard pushing into the last section of the base. Can he take it down? Tap, tap, all he can to send in every last troop, swiping through this device with furious speed. I think he has done it, Maxi.
No, the queen is going to the wrong wall. She's going to the complete outside.
No, push back in,
and
quick,
this will be a time fail. I don't think he can make it in time. He doesn't have an ability anymore. He recovered this so well, especially with the late Warden ability. Like, even leaving him with the chance to restart this, because this backhand is actually looking so heavily stacked with the multi-inferno and all of the other defenses there, but we can see him just falling short. The queen would have needed another like 15 to 20 seconds, so this was not a close time fail, but it was a time fail, and it leaves the door just a slight bit open for Inquisition now to at some point come back and make it up for their first attack. We've seen 93% now, so that means, Woody, the differential has slimmed down to 14% now.
A little bit of a breathing space for Inquisition there, and just as we'd mentioned, the Empyrean Titans are not a perfect squad. This is a team that can sometimes come up with 2 stars. They don't always get perfect wars. I mean, Tryhard is a very, very skilled attacker, and, you know, I was just like zeroed in on the army, watching those defenses, trying to see if they were going to be able to finish it off. But ultimately, you were right, Maxi, that it was time in the end that denied the triple. Stefan from Inquisition will try to start this gap close. A 3-star from him would do a lot of great work to get them back in the lead for this war.
Yeah, wow, he delayed this blimp for so long. Wow, I just realized that the Royal Champion didn't die, even though he used 2 headhunters with the Warden, but I guess they were sprung away by a spring trap. That has to be it. Now he's trying to get the Town Hall, and that is going to be the most interesting thing to see now. He only has 2 invisibility spells left, now just 1, and nothing is targeting the Town Hall so far. Also, this rage spell is wearing off. Can he get the Town Hall down? The builders are repairing it, and it stays up.
No! You see Stefan just roll his eyes to the back of his skull. Such frustration, and he knows now with the Town Hall still standing, the builder's working on it. They're going to start repairing it slowly and surely. That means that Stefan now has the feet to the fire. He's got to push hard and fast into that compartment, and any plan that he had for a 3-star just has to be thrown out. He needs to get the safe 2 and not let this turn into even more of a disaster than it already is, Max.
The good thing is, though, he kept the Warden alive, and the Warden is now following his heroes with the help of the Warden Aura, giving them an HP boost. Now, he doesn't have spells, though, and this Monolith is shooting away on the King. He needs this Queen at some point to go into the Town Hall and still have the ability left, and that is why he sends in some Balloon to tank for her. And yes, they go in front of her just in time, and he is doing so good here on the fly, keeping this Queen alive, keeping the ability. I mean, it's going to be close, but he's just, at this point, I think he's taking the risk of just starting the Lalo anyways, and unfortunately...
Go!
The Town Hall goes down, yes, but the Lalo has thinned out considerably, and he can only now just go for a couple of percentage points on the outside. With this King being revived by the Phoenix there, we can see the disappointment on his reaction down there, and this will not get higher than the 79% attack that we saw in the beginning, at least not a lot higher.
Really tough moment here from Stefan. You saw it in his face at the very beginning of the raid when the Town Hall did not go down. It is such a crushing moment to have to recalibrate on the fly when you've got this great plan to get a beautiful 3-star. You envision your future success. You can see it before your very eyes. You're going to be the hero that your clan needs to get that triple and move over atop your foes. Everyone's going to be carrying you on their shoulders. There's going to be confetti. There's going to be trumpets in the air, the sound and screams of fans, thousands of dollars flowing into your pocket, a golden ticket waved high. And then you get to the moment.
Yeah.
And the super archers don't take the Town Hall down. And it's like, what can you do at that point, Maxi?
Yeah. That's tough.
I mean, you're the pro player. You've been in those tough moments before.
Yeah, and in my opinion, he did actually great. Like, what you should do then, and it's easier said than done, obviously, is keep your cool. Just concentrate, look at the base again, look at the troops you have left again, and basically just make a new plan. And this plan can contain some of the parts of your initial plan, because that makes it easier to plan on the fly. But again, you have to evaluate your situation from zero. Yeah, and I think he did that. And knowing that he could get the town hall with his heroes, he did great there. But yeah, unfortunately fell short. But now all eyes on Sinti, Woody, as he is coming in for the third time in this tournament with the Hog Riders. Also another Skelly donut from him and a Flame Flinger. A pattern that we've seen applied by him several times. Now he should get the monolith as well. There it goes. And Sinti, we have to notice, is perfect so far. 2 attacks, 2 3-stars. So let's see if he can continue the streak with this attack.
Yeah, CC and Monolith down. Very good news for Sinti. Although I gotta say, the Monolith isn't necessarily the most terrifying defense for a Hog Rider army. He does plan on getting those heroes deep. He'll be thankful that he got that big bulking tower out of the way. Queen and King out the left side with the Lecture Titan added on for additional support to take down this Town Hall. He wants to finish that off early because that'll give him some more flexibility with this Grand Warden ability in order to not have to just pop it right over the Town Hall, as so many attacking armies have to do whenever their main force is going in for the kill. Barbarian King still out in front, holding on to that ability. He's going to try to take down as many of these splash damage structures as he can. Bomb towers, wizard towers on the exterior before he pops this ability, because they are just going to be able to kill those barbarians so quickly. But as they collapse on him, the first star will be claimed. Sinti is now like a madman trying to get this Hog army set up along the top of the base. There they go, all deployed immediately, and with the Eternal Tome just right afterwards. Royal Champion added into the mix as well. They have done their work out on the left corner. Those heroes can now rest easy, knowing that it's up to the Hogs to finish off this base, Max.
Yeah, it's so great to see how he has how he has planned extremely well where these troops will go. But unfortunately, the eagle shots killed a whole group of his Hog Riders there. At the same time, the Flame Flinger had good value at the bottom, taking out the Multi-Inferno, and the troops that came out were able to kill the Royal Champion. But then again, there is a back-end Multi-Inferno, a back-end Eagle Artillery and Poison Tower, but he's got the Royal Champion. He makes her invisible. She still has the ability, and I think he is close to keeping that perfect streak. Just needs to pop the ability in the perfect moment. Here it should go, and he is celebrating it. Woody,
look out! No! Archer, no! He's gonna brutalize her. Oh, he kept her safe. Oh, he knocked her down in the end anyways.
But that was on accident, I think. Such a funny dude. There's Sinti, and such a great attacker. What an insane attack. What a great way here to get another 3-star on the board for his team, the Hog Riders. And it's very funny because Sinti is one of the very few people in the whole competitive scene that keeps using them, but his success rate is so high that, yeah, maybe some others should follow his example there. And yeah, also funny to see him there interact with his Clash figurines. But yeah, in the end, if you look at this war, Woody, XSPORTS is now in a very good spot.
Sinti is a singular character in the Clash of Clans competitive scene. So well known because the personality just shines through. He doesn't even have a mic on here, but you know what's going through his mind when he swings that hammer. When he gives the little archer a little pet on the head. When he brings a Hog Rider army, when that's not the comp that hardly anyone else would bring. I mean, lots of other players have brought hybrid armies. That's not completely out of the picture. But for Sinti to just have this, like, essentially off-meta composition that only he knows how to use, that just like makes him such a massive threat for any team that he's up against. Either they have to say, well, we just admit that we're going to lose a base to a 3-star from a Hog army, or we have to configure all 5 of our bases to be Hog resistant. That just takes so much additional effort and can make them vulnerable to the attacks from the other 4 players. Let's switch back to Fabian now from Inquisition, who needs to get this triple to try to get back in the win column against XSPORTS. The Empyrean Titans have just been stomping through right now, and it is going to take a lot of effort from Fabian to make up this difference. Super Archers on the deep interior are trying to fire away at this Town Hall. Once again, it's going to be a slow strike, though, for Inquisition. It looks like they do get the lock, though, eventually, and taking out that Monolith as well is some more great news. Can they finish off this Bell Tower? Ooh, not entirely.
They cannot, but they triggered it, which is also worth a bit, because it will take a while for it to reset. Then again, he goes in with the heroes on the opposite side of the base, so this spell tower is definitely going to recharge until he goes comes in this area with, I guess, his Lalo towards the end of the attack. Notice how he has brought 2 super wall breakers, and he wants to make his way deep into the base. Now, trying to... the king is going to the outside. Oh, also the queen is going shopping. Oh, this is not ideal. This is definitely not ideal. He may think about using the Royal Champion now. The Queen is under so much damage there. Oh, he opens the wall though. That was a little lucky, but he doesn't have a spell anymore to keep this Queen alive, and she's in the range of a raged up multi-inferno. What is he goes down?
Oh my goodness! One more shot for the Queen could have taken down the Eagle, but fortunately for Fabian, he does have that Eternal Tome ready to use. Pops it right as soon as he gets these balloons deployed, and it's just going to be one salvo of Eagle shots that rain down on the backside. Not anything that he has to worry too much about. Oh, a red bomb does go off, and those balloons right on top of the multi are taking a lot of fire. They've got a scatter shot to deal with on the back end as well. Royal Champion marches in to save the day, tossing that shield off. It's going to be a duel of the champions on the top left side. The fates have spoken, and Fabian will make it to the final compartment, but can he knock it all the way down? Another raged up Inferno Tower is a mighty foe to deal with, having not been able to take down that spell tower earlier on with the Archers. I think that he's going to come up just a little short, Maxi.
Yes, he is, and that is very unfortunate, because now would have been the time where they really needed that 3-star, and I think it was all due to the fact that his king and queen didn't go the correct way. So he should have been a little more patient with the king deployment, noticing that the queen, the enemy queen, was close to his own queen, and also sending in the super wall breaker earlier on, because all of these pro players know the rule of the 3. The troops as well as the heroes always take into account the closest 3 buildings to them, and if one of them happens to be reachable without breaking through a wall but just going around a wall, then the troops, or in this case the king, will decide to go to fight against this building, and that's exactly what his king does. Because of that, he would have needed to wall break towards that ground targeting expo earlier. Then his queen would have been tanked for longer, and he could have made the push with his heroes into the Eagle Artillery. And we saw later on how devastating the multi-inferno behind the Eagle Artillery, in combination with these red mines stacked around it, was for his Lava Loon troops. So if that hero dive would have gone better, it could have saved the attack, it could have turned it around, and then he probably would have had enough with the low backend. So much for the analysis of this attack. But in the end, Woody, if we just look at naked numbers, we have another 2-star for Inquisition. We have already 2 3-stars for XSPORTS, and that leaves them in a very comfortable position, and they can actually already pretty much guarantee the victory if they now get another 3-star.
Triple here from Alwalin seals the deal. He's going to drop lightning, zapping through that monolith and a spell tower over on the right side. Going to get triggered up, but it's not going to cause any problems for him now as he starts this La Lune raid with a little bit of poke out here in the bottom right. Just trying to get the funnel set here for his heroes. The Queen has got a golem out in front. Big, beefy support to go deep inside this base. Might even try to get a lock onto a scatter shot or a multi if she's able to leverage this one single super wall breaker into the perfect spot.
Yeah, I'm also wondering what his plan is for the Queen. I think he will just try to go into this multi-inferno compartment where he just used the wall breaker. He's not going to aim for the Town Hall. That's what most likely he has the blimp for. I think he's going to use the Warden ability to protect the Lalo and also the blimp, and then make the blimp go all the way to the Town Hall as the Royal Champion takes care of the scatter shot and his Queen takes care of the enemy Royal Champion. So far, looking pretty good.
Battle Blimp up the top, and you are right that it's going to be a safe Town Hall takedown for Al-Mualim. Easy does it, starting off strong here. He'll get the first star and second one right afterwards. Still holding on to that lava balloon and 24 balloons. Here they come in the bottom left section of the base. A 4-finger drop to get a great spread here, not fearing that splash damage at all. And look at the beautiful positioning of that life aura. Eternal Tone protecting every single one of these balloons as they storm on in. Raged up, and even with the Raged Inferno Tower on defense, he is not afraid at all. Drops the freeze and has shut this base down. Empyrean Titans storm through for victory! The upper bracket has been decided with a 3-star here and now. Al-Mualim has clenched it, Maxi.
Wow, and that was honestly a beautiful attack. Look at the timer. 50 seconds on the clock in a Lalo attack. We rarely see that. And look at him smiling down there. It's really, really cool, especially because Al-Mualim has been criticized by a lot of people in the past couple of wars for XSPORTS, because he has had, you know, some attacks that just didn't 3-star, and who doesn't? Everyone does in the competitive scene. And but now he's proving everyone wrong who's been talking bad things about him. He goes 3-for-3 in this tournament, his third 3-star, and probably the most important so far, and also the most overwhelming to me. It was a beautiful plan, really dissected this base, used the perfect amount of troops for the perfect value to get, and in the end, just a very, very convincing stuff there. And yeah, that paves the way for XSPORTS, as you said, into the grand final.
For anyone out there who's ever been doubted, who's ever been down in the gutter, who's taken a loss, who's seen the enmity of the fans out there doubting you, to come back with the best level of preparation possible and to go tic-tac-toe 3 triples in a row, Al-Mualim has got to be your hero, because he certainly is mine, a guy who has been fighting in the Clash of Clans competitive scene for years now, and when it matters for his team to get a golden ticket, he delivers the goods. What a great showing there, crushing that base, like you said, with 50 seconds left, balloons aplenty floating overhead. That would be a great attack to see a replay on, because you know these Inquisition bases are not easy at all. To be able to crush that so confidently signals to me that the Empyrean Titans really are one of, if not the best teams out there, and ready to prove it on the global stage again.
They certainly are, and Al-Mualim so far, and simply being the shining players for them, securing only 3 stars. But, I mean, there is a theoretical chance, at least still, for Inquisition, and Mark is trying to secure that theoretical chance now, because it's dependent on a 3-star from Inquisition, and would then have to be followed by a 1-star by XSPORTS. We know that is very improbable, but it still can happen. So that's the last sliver of hope that yeah, they are holding on to. And Mark is coming in with the Queen Charge Super Dragons. We've seen this loads of times with the recall spell in the mix, so the Queen taking out 2 different parts of the outside buildings. This time he's not using it because he thinks that this Queen can get more value if she just stays there on the outside. And there go the Super Dragon. No balloons early on, so the Super Dragons take the damage of a couple of red air bombs, but I think he wanted that. He wanted the Super Dragons to tank most of the Inferno beams, so the balloons could actually get more in front and soak up possible seeking air mines. So far it's going really well, but the Town Hall, okay, it goes down just as the invisibility spell is triggered. At the same time, so much multitasking, Woody. He's keeping his Queen alive at the top side, Flinger still going. And yeah, I don't know what to say. I think it can restart, I think it can fail, I don't know at this point.
Unfortunately, that Warden was just out of position and took a lot of damage early on. The Super Dragons were not able to protect him from that multi-target Inferno burning through. And that leaves Mark without hardly any cleanup troops now. He's just going to have to rely almost solely on the heroes. But they are still quite healthy, as you've mentioned there. It's just the loss of these healers up top. That means that this Queen is just going to be down for the count now. That Royal Champion did not get into the enemy Inferno Tower compartment quickly enough. And Mark is now soaking some Monolith damage. That is unsurpassable for these healers. They'll be able to swap off into the Royal Champion and try to stab through for a bit more percentage, but geez Louise, look at that! The Monolith is just a singular defense. What an absolute unit. It's now destroying the Archer Queen and bringing the Royal Champion down to her knees. Enemy Royal Champion on defense gets the final killing blow, and Mark will be denied the triple. The defenses for Cynthia have held on, and Inquisition will finish this war with an 11-star count, same as has been earned by the Empyrean Titans out of their first 4 attacks, and it'll only be 1 more star until it is all said and done, Maxi.
Yes, yeah, very unfortunate. Another Inquisition team than we saw yesterday, because I feel like yesterday, even though they didn't restart every single attack, they were still pretty close on every single one. And one, or maybe just 1 or 2 weren't, but in general, they were pretty close. This one fell, not just this one, in this war, all of their attacks that were failed seem to have fallen short pretty early on and have been not close to a 3-star. It's not like time was the problem or just one tile and a misdeployment, just 1 tile or something was the problem. So maybe it was the plan. So maybe they will have to go through and rethink how they're approaching the bases, because these ET Sports bases have been holding strong. We've been talking about how defense can matter in these wars and probably will matter, and you said it yourself. It will probably decide whoever will win this war, and it sure did, as ET Exports is holding back Inquisition yeah, very strongly. But now let's look at Ariam, who's sitting there quite comfortably, Woody.
Oh yeah, he is always comfortable. He's got his feet kicked up in the same position for every single attack. All Ariam needs is a 1-star, 34%, and that will be enough to get the win. Let's see him do it. The Town Hall is taken down early on with a safe blimp, and just as he did yesterday, we'll be able to clinch victory with an easy strike. Doesn't even have to worry about the 3-star, although give him some credit, because we sure would love to see it if he could make it happen. Let's get into the top corner of the base now, where we see a little bit of funneling here with a triple dragon setup. Inferno, regular, and a dragon rider joining these super minions for some additional long-range damage support. Ariam has got 2 dragon riders and 5 regular dragons. Bit of an unconventional combo, but something from the skies is always beautiful to behold. Supporting it with the Grand Warden up on the top side as well, and our cameraman has done a great job of capturing every moment of the action here. Zooming out just a little bit to catch these heroes along the bottom side is now, and that's it. 34% has been passed, and the Empyrean Titans are advancing as the undefeated team in the upper bracket. Maxi.
Yes, he's done it, and that is such an important victory there. That's why I've been screaming, even though it was just 34% needed. That means ET Exports will be the first finalists today, and they are the finalists coming from the upper bracket, and that means nothing less than that they will just need 1 victory, while their opponent will need 2 victories to claim the golden ticket. So this team is very, very close at everything that all of these teams have been dreaming for, even though this might even become a 3-star. I mean, Ariam, I guess 34% is something that he can get in his sleep. But he was thinking, well, I've got a 3-star plan, why not just 3-star this base, and look at what he's doing with it.
The last compartment down here, the final lines of defenses. He tossed the shield out and has cracked them down. Only an Archer Tower and a Wizard Tower standing in the way. And you can see the number 1 that he holds up to the camera. On top and confident, Empyrean Titans storm through this upper bracket, and there is no team that can keep them down.